Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. This is Madden 18 on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's the Falcons going up against the Cowboys.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Dallas Cowboys. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They'll look to throw. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Nine yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down.
Let's go. Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Detroit.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here we go now. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Go.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
They go play action here on first down. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Third and long, they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I'd say that qualifies as a pretty darn good opening series. Get them into third and long, get them out of their comfort zone, and guess what? Get your crowd into it early, too.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Returnable here from the 38. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now a handoff looking right. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Three yards to go on 2nd down.
All right now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. They'll set up a throw and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
Now a handoff here to his running back, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Let's go.
And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
All right, here we go.
They'll send the tight end in motion. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either.
That's caught at the 25. It's a big play there for Atlanta. And even 50 yards.
So let's go ahead and add to the difficulties of guys trying to cover receivers. They got to deal with speed, shiftiness, all of that stuff. But how about when they have height and length and deep downfield? You throw the ball up in the air. That's how they uncover at the end of a route, by being able to go up over the top and make a big catch.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He finds an opening past the 40. Touchdown, Cowboys! A great effort there with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. And it's good to make it 14-0. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And here now come the Falcons. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window. They've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they? When they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown. And this one, they help force another incompletion.
He's going to fire one deep, middle, and that's caught inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. As they run the counter play. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Two running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? Back to throw here. Twisting away. And now running right through it. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, Ron Rivera sends out the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses we talk to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to work. Space to maneuver. And it's a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. If the ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's got his man on the crossing route. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And, oh, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
They'll set up to throw, and this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses. Catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Now back to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him, they've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. He'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
This is taken around the 12. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. They'll drop the throw. Try to lay one up deep. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. Now a handoff looking right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. He'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. Early on, it's the Vikings in the driver's seat. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Being chased out left. Now he'll throw deep left side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half.
Watch it now, Barney! Detroit now! Detroit!
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he is gonna feel that one. Knocked down hard. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Set! 3-19! Leopard!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be 1st and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play, and that little bit of hesitancy often works really well.
Sorry, Larry. Your hard work appreciated by so many men and women, but not today as we get back to the action in the 2nd half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it now. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 7 yards to go on second down. Looking to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's fourth down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just... And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
The Cowboys on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing, the O-line coach will.
So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the third quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs. And the wideout in motion. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll make it second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go now.
gun. They'll look to throw. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. On play action, they'll throw. Flushed it, and no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Probably a little bit of a surprise call there on 3rd and inches that they decided to throw the football. And how difficult is that for an offensive line when they look up and see all those extra bodies coming at them?
Tons of bodies coming in. They get a huge sack there. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. He'll try and throw for it here. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 11 yards for number 11.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Granted, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They're going to look to throw, and he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright and clean in the pocket. But I think they have to look at, okay, are we bringing in extra people? Is the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick enough? There are a few other factors they have to look at to try and help out. But you're exactly right. It starts with the O-line.
They're going to try and throw. And he's going to go down again. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. A gutsy decision there at this stage in the second half in their own territory, and a decision that they might regret. Can't wait for the post-mortem. You know, this post-game press conference, because the questions are going to come fast and furious about this decision, no matter how the game turns out, right? What were you thinking there? Why? Did you have a certain play call? Were you confident in your defense? Oh, yeah. Why? It's going to keep coming up. Yeah, no matter the scoreboard, just tough to justify.
Here we go now. Blue line. Gun.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Here we go. Green 39.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Steps away to his left. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Now they try the right side here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Heavy. All right, here we go.
Forced out to his left. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
The Cowboys on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And his kick is right there. It's good. Checking things elsewhere. Third quarter now from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. So out come the Falcons now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they just...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. He'll look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And out of bounds all the way down at the 2-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. It's their quarterback with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Cowboys add on. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Falcons on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Buying time. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. And they'll start this drive with very good field position.
All right, here we go.
They'll give to the fullback on the dive. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and 10 here.
All right, here we go.
Well, now they'll try the end around. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. And his kick is indeed good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go.
Going right side here, and that's complete. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. So certainly not what they were hoping for, especially on the road. Their starter forced to the locker room. And they'll turn things over here to the backup to see if he can dig him out of this hole. He sets to fire deep. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Set! Over! Watch it now. Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Hurry up, here we go. Gone. Leopard. Here we go now. Watch it now. Detroit. Watch it now. Here we go now. Green, 39. All right, now, look at 56.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. And that'll set them back 5. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Set. Green, 39.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And a loose football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. They go play action here on 1st down. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. They'll set up a throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that one incomplete. Had some position, but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Back to throw here. Fighting to stay upright. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because...
And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Back to throw now on first down. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. And quickly, they get to the line. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 7. Now they'll run it on the toss. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. That one looks like he'll throw here. Dancing to his left. And his throw here is incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Hurry up, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 57.
He'll drop to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a first down. They'll set up to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the pressure gets to him again. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll look to throw here. And that is is incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions may be in the back of his mind. Checking the NFL scoreboard there in the fourth now in Minneapolis. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. He'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Detroit! Leopard! Now let's go! Blue, red! Detroit!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the ball is knocked out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They'll drop to throw. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And this one incomplete. Well, apparently taking a knee is not in vogue. They're not able to add another touchdown on. And now the ball game is over. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cowboys, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they fall to 8-6 with the loss. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.
you